Alright guys, welcome back to another one of our procedural creation series. We are continuing the carpet and in this one we are gonna go ahead with the actual patterns of our carpet. So in the previous one we only created the petal generator, which gives us some kind of a bunch of petals, and that is gonna be useful for this one. So let's just get started. Now there's only one thing that you need to know about this video. I believe it's gonna be short. It's just how to distribute these these petals that we have created onto a path. That's the only thing that's gonna happen here. So it's really simple. The only thing that you're gonna be thinking about is how you're gonna create that path which you want. It can be a simple path, which can be just really be a circle, or it can be a complicated path. It can be a sine wave or something like that. So the only thing that you have to think about is that. The rest is just textbook. So for example, let's say if you want to put this in a circular path, right? So you can do a circular pattern, and put the image input here. That gives you what you wanted easily, right? But the thing is, we also want, sometimes you want a square, sometimes we want a kind of a really weird path. We want to be able to put it on any path that you want, right? So in the 13th version of Substance Designer, we have paths, like we have support of actual splines in this version, and I believe that's not available in the older versions of Substance Designer. So you might wanna be considering to upgrade. If you can't, you will just have to make those patterns elsewhere and import it using an SVG, which is not something that we're going to be talking about today. So let's just take something. Let's take a square. Let's start with that, right? So I'm gonna put this a bit, yeah, a mask to paths node, mask to paths, which will give you something like this. You do not need to be concerned with what this looks like. You only need to be concerned with this paths, right? So let's take us paths to spline node. Now you see you have three outputs. At this point you should just change your output method to material. So you can take a scatter on spline grayscale. Now these three, you can just connect to these three here. Okay. Now you will see it gives you this discs going in the square path. So we do not want discs, we want our own pattern. So let's put into the pattern input number 1, and let's change the pattern to pattern input, and that will give your pattern the scatter that you wanted. Right, cool. So obviously we need to change some things: spacing, scale, right? Oopsie. Yep. So scale, and yeah, that's pretty much how you get your petals onto a particular path, right? So you define the path here, and you put it into the mask to paths and paths to spline, and then finally onto the scatter on spline grayscale. So that's the technique, really. Now the only thing that you want to think about is how you're gonna get that shape on which you're gonna create the path. So that's the only thing. Like, we can take a sign, I think. We can take a shape. We can take a shape, right? Waves. Waveform. You can take waveform. You can do anything that you want. See this? Immediately it gives a really complicated result, right? So you can try a bunch of things. You can try trapezoid. And which will give you this kind of result. So of course it's all really dependent on the shape that you create, and it will detect the edges of it, and it will create a spline onto that. One more thing, you can really have randomness here. You can have multiple petal generators here. You can change the seed value, and you can have more inputs. Input number 1, 2, 3, and 2 and 3, and that will give you that randomness in your patterns. Cool. Now once you're done with this, just go ahead and take out an input and just press Alt here. Now this will give you a dot. Just name it something like primary 1. This will help us when we are doing the coloring and we are doing the material side of it. Now this is the only thing that you want to do, and you're gonna repeat this step, so you can just literally copy paste and have a different shape, square. And once you combine it like this and put it to screen, you can see you're starting to get that you're starting to get that carpet patterns. Of course you can go ahead in the petal generator, change something, get more petals and save it, and it will still work, but I'm just gonna keep it like this here, right? That's it for this tutorial. Let's meet again in the next one, and we'll talk about coloring and we'll talk about the material side of it. So see you then. Thank you so much.